All right, it's 9:30, February 4th, and dealing with some slippery conditions out there. Now, we didn't really get too much ice accumulation on the trees, but all that rainfall is now starting to freeze, and everything is starting to get very slippery out there, and we're still seeing a little light mixed precipitation. This cold front is moving so slow. It is just crawling, and we dealt with rain a good part of the day today. And it really still hasn't completely tapered off yet. This is the satellite image of our front. You can see it's barely moving here, barely moving. If we look at the the CONUS view of it, and you can see this whole front is just so slow, and you can see look at how long this front is. I mean, it stretches all the way from down here in the Gulf, all the way up, all the way up. That's crazy. That is one long front, and it's just really just taking its sweet time. We want to get in this clear air here, but we may not even make it into this clear air tomorrow. We may have to wait until Sunday. We'll have to see what the models have to say. But let's talk about some of the current observations, because now we are below freezing. Everybody's pretty much below freezing, around 30 degrees. Still holding on to above freezing in New Jersey, but the southern part of New Jersey, but that won't be for too much longer. Let's take a look and see what was going on at iSlip today. You can get a chance to see what's going on with these observations here. And you can see it got really mild this morning, really warm. Peaked up around 50 degrees. High was 51 at iSlip, but it got even warmer than that in the city. But you could see the rain just lingering throughout the entire day here. Looks at that. They got a snow depth observation there at iSlip. Still reporting a 1 inch of snow on the ground at iSlip still. That's interesting that they take snow depth readings. But there you go. So we're dealing with this freezing rain. And it was quite a warm up this morning. It got quite mild. Let's get West Hampton. We'll go over a lot of the stations here today. West Hampton, they're missing some reports. That's not good. But you can see they were also dealing with the rain as well. And they're still above freezing. Out east, it's still above freezing out in Suffolk County. But the further west you go, we go into Farmingdale here. You can see it's 30 degrees, so we're below freezing here at Farmingdale. And you can see, look at how warm it got. It got warm this morning, 51. I mean, that's crazy. But you can see here that we were above freezing until recently at Farmingdale, and after 7 o'clock, temperatures started dropping below freezing, and then we're dealing with these below freezing temperatures that we're dealing with. Now we got to around 50, but in the city, Central Park, they were a lot warmer. So if we look at Central Park here, because they didn't have the ocean influence, wind was all over land, and they reached 56 degrees this morning. 56 degrees, so that is quite impressive. And you can see, though, the temperatures have been below freezing for longer there. All right. Very impressive situation there. And again, if we look at New Jersey, where it was even warmer, let's look at Miller Air Park, for instance. They probably hit 60 over there in Jersey. Let's see if they did. Looks like they didn't make it to 60, but pretty warm. And they're still above freezing right now, so they're not having to worry about the ice just yet. So let's take a look at our total rainfall accumulations. Well, actually, we have rainfall reports over here, so we can do the storm. That's through 2 p.m., though. So let's. I can't believe they don't have anything more recent than that. That's only through 2. So let's look at this. Let's look at the storm total on this with the rainfall. All right. So we're going to first look at our high temperatures for today. So we'll see how warm it got across the area, and you'll see here, Long Island got into the low 50s, so that melted most of the snow. Most of the snow was gone. Mid-50s in the city, and then in New Jersey, closer to 60 degrees, especially as you head south. I see a couple of 60-degree temperatures as you head toward Atlantic County there. All the snow, I think, is more or less gone over there. Let's now go to the precipitation, and for that, we have to change this to precipitation, and we have to change the start date, and we have to make it Let's make it yesterday, but let's make it noon. All right, so we got a chance to see how much rain has fallen across the area. And you'll see here some parts of Long Island here. We see islip here. On the screen, please. Why the spinning circle? You see there, around an inch there, 0.77. So most areas of Long Island, I see 1.10 around Manorville. So most areas of Long Island got around an inch of rain. Some of the areas out east got a little more, 1.53. I mean, and then in the Hudson Valley and northern New Jersey, some almost 1.5 to 2 inches there of rain. And then as we head further south, a little less as you head further south. So let's go to the rainfall totals now from the Weather Service here. Storm Turtle rainfalls here. And you'll see here that, again, those higher amounts a little further north in Connecticut. You also see some 1.5 inch readings in New Jersey, 1.5 inches in Bergen County, 0.40 in Passaic. So a lot of rain with this storm. And Suffolk County, 1.5 inches out east. And then further west you go, it's more like between 3/4 of an inch and an inch. And I don't even see a reading for Nassau County here. But, yeah, that's generally what we're dealing with here. There's been a lot of we avoided the worst of the ice. However, there are a lot of areas that are impacted by the ice. And we're going to look at the power outage map for New York because we have close to 50,000 people in the state without power. Now, Long Island, not really affected too much. There's some in Queens. I think most of these outages are going to be caused by auto accidents. Some in Westchester, not too many. But as you head into, it seems like Ulster County got hit very hard. 42,631. They got the ice on the trees and the power lines, and that caused a lot of outages. So you see that that part of New York got hit hard. And then if we look at New Jersey, not too many outages in New Jersey. But Pennsylvania has 15,000. And you can see there, it looks like western parts of the state there have been affected there by the icing as well. And then Tennessee is still dealing with a lot of West Virginia too. Tennessee really hardest hit. There are a lot of really hard hit areas. Shelby County in particular, in the southwestern corner of the state, hit very hard by a lot of power outages there. So it's all due to the ice on the trees. And Texas as well, dealing with the power outages as well, and Ohio. This is all due to all that ice, and we're going to look and see what's going on the roads right now with the traffic tracker here and see if we can find any accidents right now on Long Island. I don't see any accidents right now. I mean, the roads look wet, but I can tell you walking on the sidewalks, they're starting to freeze over. And I think in an hour or two, it's going to be mostly ice. And being that we still have moist air and a little light precipitation falling, it's not going to be able to evaporate. So it looks like we have an accident over here. That's emergency construction. It's mostly upstate that we're dealing with all the accidents. We got a closure over here. Overturned tractor trailer. So on 287, we've got crash by Westchester Airport. And then we head up here, and you see there are a lot of... here we go, another one here. Crash with property damage on US 6 westbound. We have a weather-related 218. All lanes closed due to the weather on 218 over here. So, this is bad. As you head over here, you can see more crashes here. Crash with property damage. Trees down. And that Ulster County area, I think this is the area that got hit. Look at all these up here, upstate. We got another one over here. Down wires on New York 55. We got down wires on 213. Down wires on Route 32 in Kingston. So, and I wonder if this is affecting Metro North at all. We're going to have to find out. Down wires on Ulster. So, more down wires on all these state roads here. Down wires on 28. So, this whole area is a mess right now. And can't really even see the camera there. It's covered in ice. There aren't too many cameras over here. But you got a lot of these here. A lot of roads closed due to fallen trees, ice and accidents. Maybe some of these cameras are up. What a mess up here And this is the area that seems to really be in. And the Taconic, too. We got down wires on New York 344, both directions between en route, New York 22, Mass State Line. So we got more down wires and problems here. And it looks like the Taconic is closed. Is that the Taconic? No, that's Taconic State Park. No, it's the Taconic State Parkway. Okay, so that's Taconic State Park. Not a place you want to be right now. So, yeah, upstate really hit very hard. And I'm a little concerned as things start to freeze. Oh, we see some issues in New Jersey, too, now popping up. What do we got going on the Turnpike? Crash on the Turnpike. So, really, I really would highly recommend you try to get home early tonight. Because, hopefully you're home by now because the roads are going to start getting really, really bad. And it's really starting to already get slippery out there, which is a major concern. And that's why we have the winter weather advisory, and that is going to go through at least 11 o'clock this evening. So, yeah, they have it to 11. It's just slippery out there. And you can see we still have precipitation on the radar. This is the radar right here. This front is still not moving. It's unbelievable, this front. Really is. Let's see if we can get some. I don't really have any storm damage reports there, but they're definitely below freezing. So let's go now to the models here. And again, this is the radar. And again, you can see this mixed precipitation over us. That's still continuing. This front is still not offshore yet. This front is moving slower than even the models predicted. So you see here, this is the GFS. This front finally slowly pushes offshore tomorrow, and high pressure builds in for the weekend. And then our next chance of precipitation after this could be with a offshore low on Tuesday, but it has warmer temperatures, so it would be rain. But then we'd have to watch for another possibility of snow, perhaps toward the end of next week with another high building in. And you can see some more cold air entering the picture there. So still some cold air entering the picture. But right now, no big storms. I don't really want to focus too much on the long range. We've got to focus on the short range. So let's go to the HRRR here. And 0Z run on the HRRR. And we are at around 03Z. So you can see we're still dealing with this lingering precipitation. It really doesn't move out until after midnight. I thought it was going to move out more like 3 or 4 o'clock, start moving out. So this front is just crawling offshore. Eventually it makes it offshore, and we have a dry day tomorrow, and we'll be dry on Sunday as well. But it will be cold. So if we look at the dew point and wind flow, you'll see that northwesterly wind there, and you can see that dry air finally building in. As we get toward late morning tomorrow, we'll finally have that dry air building with a pretty brisk northwest wind there, becoming north as you get into the evening, and then northeast Sunday morning, and then east to southeast, and then eventually back to southerly Sunday night, which will bring in moderating temperatures. So let's look at our temperatures now. Speaking of that, tonight won't be originally as cold because, again, this front is moving slower, so the cold air is taking longer to move through. It's taking longer to get the cold air in here, basically. And because of that, we are going to be not quite as cold, but we're still below freezing, which is bad with the road. So it'll probably be around 20 when you get up versus originally we were thinking it'd be around 10. But it's still going to be cold tomorrow because the cold air is coming in throughout the day. So we're probably still only going to see highs in the mid to upper 20s. And then tomorrow night, with the clear skies, light winds, and radiational cooling, we're going to have lows in the teens, single digits, maybe even colder than that in the Pine Barrens, perhaps around 0. And then for Sunday, just a touch milder. And I think the temperatures increase throughout the day with that southerly wind. So we'll probably be getting close to freezing as you get toward late afternoon and the evening for your Sunday. Now beyond that, look at the GFS. Looking at our temperatures, we'll see a moderating trend as we get into Monday. We get above freezing, back into the mid-30s, probably close to 40 degrees, and then another cold front comes through. We have that low sitting offshore, which will probably not allow too much warm air to get in, but it'll still be above freezing. And then as that pushes offshore, we'll probably see temperatures drop again toward the end of the week. There's another cold front coming through right there, and that's Friday. And next weekend, again, with another more return of cold air into the picture. So let's look at our skies. Next, I'll go to the RGEM. Move this all the way back up over here. All right, so here's a slow-moving front. You can see it's just so slow to push offshore. Here we are around 8 in the morning tomorrow. We're still dealing with some clouds over us. RGEM seems to push those clouds away and give us a mostly sunny day. Maybe pops up some clouds over Long Island. And then for Sunday, we may have to worry about high clouds trying to enter the picture, perhaps, especially as you get toward the afternoon. We usually see that when we have a southerly wind flow. Let's go to the NAM3. Because the NAM3 may be even more. All right, this is the 0Z NAM3, and you can see it's showing some more clouds over us tomorrow, but eventually by the afternoon it would become mostly sunny. So we may have to deal with a lot of these clouds with the low-level moisture around. This front is really just taking its sweet time coming offshore. Sunday might be a clearer day. Perhaps, I think both days will have sunshine, but I can't say if it's going to be no clouds at all. I think your best bet for the best skies is probably during the afternoon tomorrow at this point. That's as far. This is the NAM 0Z run, all right, that we have available. All right. If we want to go past that with the skies, we can look at the GFS as well. This is the GFS. If we want to go past that, though, we're going to be dealing with clouds probably Monday. Maybe Tuesday we'll get some sun. But we'll have to see when we can get that front through. It probably wouldn't be until next Saturday that we would have another clear day. So, with that said, this icing situation is just a concern for tonight. This is Ventu sky here. And you can see, again, that we've really got to watch this icing situation. And let's just look at Ventu sky as far as the temperatures go by morning. This is another look. Again, this is the HRRR. So 5 in the morning, you'll see we're firmly below freezing, but not as much as we originally thought. But we can also look at the clouds with this. And this is a lot more pessimistic here. 8 o'clock, still dealing with clouds. 10 o'clock, still dealing with clouds. And we're still dealing with some clouds all around all day. Here we are at noon. It won't, it never really gets rid of the clouds tomorrow. So we're going to have to see. This is the HRRR. With the cloud cover. We're going to have to see what happens with tomorrow. Hopefully we can get a sunny day. But we'll know probably by morning how that's going to work out. But this front, you can see, you got plenty of clear sky over here, but this front is just inching away. And you have to wait for the clear sky. You have to go all the way into Illinois to get clear sky. And that's a ways away from us. So this front is really just stuck here. This is classic stalled front syndrome right here. You got your stationary front that's just kind of just hanging out. You got your stationary front right here. We'll draw it. Draw the symbol for stationary front. My drawing isn't that great, but this is your stationary front right here. Stationary frontal boundary right there. So stall front syndrome could be a fly in our ointment for tomorrow, and it certainly is going to be tonight. So be careful out there. I really wouldn't recommend traveling. Things are going to get very icy, very slippery. All that moisture in the roads, it's just freezing, and things are going to be very slippery. It doesn't look that bad now, but it's going to get bad fast. So I really would urge people to probably not go out until the sun rises tomorrow and starts melting this stuff off. If you have to drive, starts melting this stuff off the roads, because it's going to be very slippery. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be careful tonight.